If you've been following my journey, you already know the master plan. Retire to Mauritius. Wake up to the quiet coastline mornings. Trade chaos for calm. But here's my truth. I'm not ready to retire financially. Not next month, not next year. Realistically, I still have 3 to 5 years of work left in me. But I also know this. I can't spend those years grinding myself to dust in the American work culture. My body is tired. My spirit is tired. My nervous system waved the white flag 3 promotions ago. So here's the plot twist. I'm not moving to Mauritius yet. I'm moving to Europe to work. A new plan, a new continent, and one massive obstacle standing in my way. Ageism. Let's talk about why Europe even makes sense if I still have to work. Number 1, the math. To enter retirement in Mauritius with peace, not panic, I need to save X amount of dollars. Those last few working years matter. But working those years in the US, that feels like a sentence. It feels like running a marathon every single week with no water breaks. But in Europe, certain areas of Europe, it's different. They believe rest is a right, not a luxury. They value time off, sabbaticals, holidays, actual lunch breaks, and boundaries that don't require a TED Talk to explain. The pace is slower, more humane. And here's the part that sealed it for me. My daughter and her family will be in Europe for the next 3 years. My grandbabies, my heartbeats, the ones who could talk me into just about anything. So choosing Europe isn't just strategy, it's alignment. It's practically wrapped in love. It's a chance to work and be near my family without being 1 flight and 3 layovers away. For once, the personal and the professional line up perfectly. And I know many of you understand this feeling, being too young to retire, too exhausted to keep grinding, and needing a middle path that doesn't break your body or your spirit. Europe is my bridge, the path to Mauritius without losing myself along the way. Now let's talk about the uncomfortable part. Ageism is real, y'all. And I know it's ageism because I have never struggled to get a job. Ever. Not in bad economies, not during staffing freezes, not during federal shutdowns, not during a pandemic, not even when I was a single mom with 2 babies and 0 margin for error. I have always been able to get my foot in the door. I've always had options. I've always had offers. But now, the silence is deafening. And I know the difference between wrong timing, wrong job, and wrong age because they love my qualifications. My skills fit. My leadership hits. My resume checks all the boxes. And then crickets. Or those vague rejection emails that basically say, you're amazing, but someone cheaper, younger, won the spot. The confirmation moment for me, a recruiter actually said, oh, I wasn't expecting someone so seasoned. Seasoned. As if I'm a rotisserie chicken. Ma'am, am I paprika or parsley? That's when I knew this is more than just competition. This was ageism. And ageism hits differently, y'all. I'm not going to lie. It's not just about a job. It's about identity. It makes you question whether your value has an expiration date. But here's what keeps me steady. God is not limited by biased or hiring trends. Purpose doesn't expire and calling doesn't vanish because your birth year starts with a 19. I've lived too much, survived too much, and built too much to let a hiring manager convince me my value depreciates with time. I'll tell you exactly when all this clicked for me. One night, it was late. My coffee was cold. My laptop was hot. I had just received my 5th rejection email of the week. I sat there staring at the screen, and suddenly I remembered a much younger version of myself, packing my things in silence after leaving a relationship that was very toxic. My babies were asleep in the next room. I had no job lined up, no guarantees of stability, just faith and a prayer. And I heard God whisper, you survived that, you'll survive this. I rebuilt before, I can rebuild again. This time with wisdom, boundaries, savings goals, and better emotional regulation. This isn't my first reinvention. It's just my first reinvention with bifocals and a few gray hairs. So rejection at 58 hits different, y'all. It stings harder. It pokes old wounds. But this is where my wellness training steps in. When a rejection hits, I don't spiral anymore. I used to. Now I regulate. I take a 10-minute walk to reset my cortisol. I breathe until the disappointment leaves my body, and I remind myself, this is redirection, not rejection. The job search isn't about employment. It's about emotional resilience, nervous system health, and spiritual discipline. Yeah, Mauritius is still the destination, still the dream, still the promise God placed in my heart a long time ago. But Europe, Germany, Italy, Spain, that's the bridge, a divinely timed, family-aligned, sanity-saving, age-defying bridge. And I'm going to document every bit of it, the applications, the interviews, the meltdowns, the breakthroughs, the moments of doubt, the moments of faith. If you want to walk with me as I attempt to get hired overseas at my age, if you want to see whether I break through, break down, or break into a new chapter, hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone who's rebuilding their life. And remember, you're never too late, and your peace is never too far. Hey, y'all, I'm Vanessa, and this is Ways of Change. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you the next time.